I've been wanting to do this video for like a while, but let's turn the clocks back 1 year and let's go to the very first episode of Mashle. When Mashle was announced, and I remember it being one of the animes that I got so excited for, and I watched it, and I hyped it up quite a bit. It did not live to my expectation. Now, here in this channel, I will never shy away from like opinions of like where I stand. If you agree or disagree with my opinions, that's you. This is my little world inside Ivan's head, and then you have your taste and likes and dislikes. But I will defend on what I like or dislike with more than just, well, I just like it. And I never really liked Mashle, but I never really understood why. I remember that I started watching the series, and I even made a little event about it where I got a couple of people together. I was like, "Oh, let's watch this new Harry Potter thing that looks pretty darn good." And you know what? Like it did. It actually did. You had this parody of like Harry Potter and One Punch Man combined. I was very intrigued to see what they were going to do with Mashle. Well, um, whatever they did, I was not. I was not impressed. I really wasn't. So, a little recap of kind of what happened, but not necessary to what I'm about to say. Is that instead of having Mashle being just like a Harry Potter with a lot of street hood in him, he just didn't have any magic, and it was like him fixing stuff through brute force. And then we did have like other characters and everything. Now, that's about it. That's really about it. Like that's it. And here's my problem with it. Nothing that happened in the series felt like it mattered. I really didn't find a reason to care for it because it was just a matter of like Marshall being strong as fuck, and then everyone like, oh, he's using magic. Oh, but it was just him doing things through sheer brute force, like even flying, just he's jumping super high, and that's it. He's not as invincible as Saitama, for example, but you can make the case of close to. The reason why I never really cared for Mashle, it was because I felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be. Did it want to be like a funny parody of Harry Potter, or did it actually want it to take itself a little like seriously and present a story that it could be just like a new shonen type of thing? Well, Mashle came and went, and I waved it goodbye. Not without finishing it, honestly. I never really cared to finish it. And I remember one day I didn't have anything else to watch, and I just like put it on the background um with the dub in Spanish, so I wouldn't have to like read or like pay attention. And yeah, I regret nothing. I feel like I didn't miss anything. And then Mashle season 2 came out. Mashle season 2 was announced shortly after season 1. And to be honest with you, I didn't care for it. I really didn't. Obviously, then we got the intro, bing bam bam bing bam. That one got super popular, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good song." I was really invested in the song. I think it's a great song. The first intro of the first season, I really didn't care for it, And that didn't help my, not necessarily disdain for the first season, but like lack of interest. It felt like it dragged too long. But this new intro was at least like very refreshing. And sometimes I will watch the anime just to listen to the intro. God, there's like something in my eye. Ah, anyways, point is, season 2 came out, and I kind of put it off to watch it just because. But I knew that it was in Spanish, and I was like, I can just have something in the background and be fine with it. And boy, oh boy, was I kind of wrong. Because Mashle season 2 introduced the one thing that season 1 was totally lacking: a reason to give a shit. So on season 2, I could not stop but to notice that they decided to actually lean on something. Remember how I first said on the first season that Mashle didn't really, like, I felt like Mashle didn't really know what it wanted to be? Well, it seemed like in season 2 they did. They were like, let's lean on the fact that we are this wacky parody. Let's take ourselves a little bit less seriously, dial the wackiness to 11, and add things to care about: character development, moments of humanity, and like actually good storylines. Season 1 felt like it was just Mashle being like this unstoppable force that could solve everything with one punch. Sounds familiar? I bet it fucking does, because we already have One Punch Man. And it really felt like in season 1 there was not necessarily a thing to like worry about, because Mashle was gonna come out on top. Then on season 2, you get to see that he actually cares for things. He actually develops like a like and dislike to things. There's new characters that, I mean, you can already tell, like you can already tell who that is, right? Like I don't have to I don't have to like okay. Point is that there's like very great moments between Mashle and his dad that in the first season we never got. You never got to see a little bit like under the surface of Mashle. Like, is he just a brute force and that's it? But no, you get to realize like he has likes and dislikes, and he cares for his friends, and he values what he has, and how does he value it? And he's ready to defend it. Then we get to see like a very much better intricate story about the world building, where it's not just like random coincidences. Now the first season serves as a very good setup. I consider it now like season 0, where you can watch it to like understand what's going to happen, but I would consider season 2 to be like the first season actually. One to be the epilogue. Is that the epilogue or the prologue? Well, one of those. The one that happens before. And then season 2, it's so good. Like finally I can say that I'm a fan of Mashle. On the first season, I never really cared to buy a figure or any sort of merchandise from the series because never cared for it. Season 2, I could not stop watching. Now, I'm not going to say that it's like the best thing ever, but in comparison to season 1, this thing it's a major improvement, because everything that happened in that series, in that season, I cared about. They give you a reason to care about. And there is one particular moment, one very specific moment that happens between Mashle and his dad that legit made me almost teary-eyed. So if you were one of those like me that watched the first season of Mashle and just didn't really care for the second season because the first season didn't give you anything to care about, I would suggest that you give season two a chance because it's really good. I don't want to really dive into spoilers right now, but I just gotta say, season two, Ah, man, throat. Season two of Mashle. It's so good that I'm dying. Just watch it. Do yourself a favor. Just watch it.